What's going on, guys? And thanks for tuning in for another beer battle. Not done one of these for a while. It's Beer Monster O'Clock. I'm trying to not get too excited because my voice is all over the place and not being too well. But anyway, for this particular beer battle, we'll be seeing how well Aldi's Proper Job clone stacks up against the real thing, and most importantly, what one's better. Now, a few facts about each beer. Aldi's clone of the Proper Job is called a Proper Hoppy IPA. There's a look at your bottle. Very similar looking. This 5.5% ABV is brewed by the Harper's Brewery. And it's 500ml bottle when it costs £1.69 in Aldi's. That's gone up quite a bit recently, actually. I have reviewed both these beers on the channel, but I've not put them up against each other. And sometimes it's just got to be done, innit? Of course, we have the original St Austell Brewery Proper Job powerfully hopped IPA. Already one difference, which could be a key thing here, is it says on the bottle here, bottle conditioned. Proper Job is bottle conditioned. This one doesn't mention it. Doesn't mean it's not bottle conditioned. Let's have a quick little look on the back. No, it does not say that it's bottle conditioned, which means it probably isn't. Because you'd be shouting and letting people know that it is, wouldn't you? So yeah, that could be a key element between how close they can make it. Will it be better? I don't know. But the Proper Job was £1.89, so the Aldi clone is like you would expect, cheaper, but only 20p. Now that's not a lot. It's going to have to be pretty much identical or even better to really say, yeah, go and get the Aldi version, you know. For 20p per bottle, it's really not a lot of difference, is it? Let's crack them open and investigate more and see who will be the winner of this beer battle. Let me know, guys, in the comments if you've tried both of these beers. What one do you think's better? How close do you think Aldi come to the Proper Job? And do you think it's worth a little bit 20p extra, 20p less per bottle? Right, let's go in with the Proper Hoppy IPA. They're very cheeky, Aldi, aren't they? Making the names as close as they possibly can without taking the court or whatever, you know. Let's go in with this one. Let's see what it looks like in the glass. I can't remember what I thought of this one. It's quite a while since I've reviewed both of these beers, but I have since had the Proper Job, and I think it's proper nice. So I'm hoping this one will be just as good for a little bit cheaper. Everybody's struggling for a bit of money at the minute, aren't they? So any little saving is a good saving, isn't it? But it has to be good. Alright, let's get the proper job in there. Give it a little swirl with the Proper Job if you want to get the bits in, which I think it's got to be done. Increases the flavour, looks better. Some people don't like that. In that case, don't put the bottom bits in, and certainly don't shake it around like a nutter, because it can be known for having a few bits in the old Proper Job. And there we go. Let's show you the Proper Job there. You can see, or you may not be able to see on camera, but there's loads of little bits of yeast floating around in the beer, making their way down towards the bottom of the glass. That live yeast, which of course means until I open the thing, it's still been brewing in the bottle. So you don't get much fresher than that, do you? Whereas the Aldi one, you're not getting no yeasty goodness. And colour-wise, I would say that the Aldi one is certainly darker. The Proper Job has a slight haze with sediment throughout the whole beer, all over the gaff. Really does look nice. Again, you're probably not picking it up to the full extent on camera of just how beautiful the Proper Job looks. It looks proper. And this looks like a rip-off job, which it is. So far, I guess you could say all as expected. You've not got no head on this one either. Anyway, let's go in there and check out the aromas of a Proper Hoppy IPA, the Aldi clone. But let's not disregard it just yet. Okay. Doesn't have the best aroma to it. A little hint of citrus and like a sweet caramel malt for me. Not a lot else. But yeah, it smells alright. Let's check out the aromas of the proper job. See if it smells more proper. Love the look of it though. Yeah, this one does smell different. It smells more punchy. It smells citrusy as well, but more full-on grapefruit, this one. Whereas the other one was just like a citrus blend. This is very much grapefruit, the proper job. Perhaps a touch of lime. A little bit malty as well, but way less sweet, which for me is a good thing. But let's stop the flirtation between these two beverages. Let's chuck them down with fat neck and see what one, most importantly, tastes better, and whether there's any money to be saved here, or whether you're just better off sticking to one or the other. You know. Anyway, let's go in with the proper hoppy IPA and see if it's making a proper job of being a proper clone, or maybe it's even more proper than the original proper job. Cheers, everybody. Bosh. Sorry if I confused you there, because I confused myself a little bit, to be honest. That's not bad. It's hoppy. It says a proper hoppy IPA, and I can confirm it tastes like an IPA that is hoppy. I don't know if it's proper hoppy. I don't know if it's a proper hoppy IPA, but it is a hoppy IPA at least. It's quite pleasant. There's a bit of a sweetness to the malts. A bit thin in the body. Quite high carbonation levels to it. Perhaps a bit more carbonated than what I would like personally. But it looks a bit shit, doesn't it? Head's completely gone. Not that this has got much of a head, but at least there's traces of a head there still to be seen. Not with the proper hoppy IPA. I didn't think how confusing these bloody names are going to get during this beer battle. It's alright. It tastes like a standard, average kind of IPA. There's a bit of a crisp dryness on the end. There's a slight bitterness. Well, I'd say a medium level bitterness. But nothing really stands out massively with the proper hoppy IPA from Aldi. But I think it's quite a good beer. It's reasonably priced. And it all boils down to how close it comes to the proper job. And this is why I wanted to put these two together, you know, because you can try one month and one the other month and think you know what one's better. But unless you actually put them together, get the gloves on and get them in a battle, you never really know for sure, I think. And sometimes in the past, some of these beer battles have surprised me. Is this going to be a surprise? Yeah, perfectly drinkable for me. Was that a little bit of an artificial tinge in that sweetness there? Do we have ingredients? Of course we don't. They don't want to know what shit they put in their beer if they don't have to, do they? Right, anyway, let's get in with the proper job and see if it is more indeed proper than the proper hoppy IPA, which isn't the proper job. Confused? Right, cheers everybody. Bosh. Moment of truth. Absolutely pulls apart its bum cheeks and shits all over the Aldi clone. It really does. Then it pulls apart them bum cheeks to make sure it does a proper good job of shitting all over it as well. In fact, from going from the Aldi one going to the proper job, I wouldn't say it's made me realise how shit the Aldi one is, because it tasted alright at the time. I would have been happy enough with it if I'd not tried the real one, if that makes sense. But having tried the real one after trying the fake one, it, like I say, spread the butt cheeks apart, pooped all over it. It's just on a different level. Everything's up to notch. It tastes fresher. It's got a better body, better feel to the carbonation, being bottle conditioned, and that it tastes like it's from the bloody cask. More flavoursome. The bitterness is like at least doubled over the proper hoppy IPA. Way more citrusy as well. And you can definitely pick out the citrus fruits individually, like the grapefruit, some lime zest, and whereas that just tastes like a citrus blend, and the bitterness really does sort of bring all your taste buds out, and they just say hello darling, and it's just, they don't compare. When even looking at them, they don't compare in the looks department either, do they? And they certainly don't compare in the taste department. You've got a bit of lacing on the proper job. You've got all that, as I say, that sediment in the glass. Not that I'm sure you can pick that up. Just the colour of it is better. The taste of it, more bitter, more citrusy. Super crisp dryness. More crisp than the proper hoppy IPA. Just way more flavour in general. And way more fresh tasting from the bottle conditioning. Now let's go back to the proper hoppy IPA, now that I've just had the proper job. And we would sort of get that coffin and whack some massive nails all around it and say, get the fuck out of here. Or would it change slightly? Let's give it a try. Interestingly, this is where the beer battles get interesting. It's actually having gone from the proper job and then going back to the Aldi clone. Some of the tastes and the flavours from the proper job are still in the taste glands, and it's actually making this taste closer to the proper job. But it's still not as good. But you've still got some of that bitterness and citrus fruit flavours in your coating your taste buds, you know, and it helps this catch up a bit. But if you're just drinking one on their own, you're not going to have that. You're not going to have the proper job there to sort of help it, are you? For me, this is a no-brainer. The proper job is the proper stuff. It's a fantastic beer if you've not tried it. I highly recommend it, and I'll give it a very easy 9 out of 10 all day long. The Aldi one is a 7. It's still okay, but for me, the gap's only 20p, and it tastes way nicer than 20p more. And without a shadow of a doubt, if you can possibly afford it, I'd recommend the proper job over the Aldi clone. And I wouldn't bother with the Aldi clone. It's just an okay beer, and this is a fantastic beer. And for 20p extra, you know, it makes sense. It's a no bloody brainer, innit? So the Aldi one, no real reason for it. Just for the bottle conditioning alone, it's worth 20p. I mean, for fuck's sake. So yeah, 9 out of 10, 7 out of 10. If proper job would probably be a 9, maybe a 9.3 actually, because it's a fantastic beer, and it don't matter how many fancy craft beers I try. Whenever I come back to the proper job, I think it's decent. You know, whereas some other beers that I've tried when I first started the channel, I go back to them now once I've tried a lot more beers, and I'm like, oh, it's a lot shit, then I remember it. But the proper job always stays there as a solid beer that you can seem to get anywhere that's bottle conditioned. So you've got to love that about it, ain't you? Smash the like button if you've enjoyed this video, guys. If you're not done already, subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel out. It costs you nothing, and it makes me feel pretty. Till next one, guys. Bye-bye, darlings.